what's up, rock stars? It's Rox coming to you today with review for Love and Marriage DC Season 2, Episode 5. I just actually finished watching the show. Let's get to it, shall we? All right, you guys. So the show starts where it ended last week, which was with the Tylers all getting together. Remember, Brittany surprised everyone and kind of staged a one-man intervention, basically for them to all talk and see how they can put everything on the table. That's what she told everybody. We're going to put all the issues on the table together, see if we can work this thing out. Big Jamie was like, he didn't know that this was going to happen. He not really trying to get into any kind of confrontations today. He's just chilling. He actually starts off on a good note and says, listen, I think we all can maybe agree that maybe some of the reasons the way that you are might be as a result of the way that we have been with you. Okay? He can take accountability for that, but little Jamie needs to take accountability for his part. You know, Irena was just like, how can we help you? What do we need to do? What do you need from us that's going to help you get through this time in your life? Little Jamie is just like, he needs a job, basically. Okay. But he also is just like very overwhelmed from this, the emotions that everybody has. You know, him and his dad been at odds for a long time, on and off. You know, he's just overwhelmed with everything. So in his mind, maybe he just needs to shut down so this don't turn into just like World War III. I actually felt really sorry for Big Jamie because, you know, he started crying because I do think that Jamie, well, I think that a lot of people understand where Big Jamie is coming from. Yes, his approach is usually not the best way. But I mean, I can at least tell that Jamie and Irena love their son, you know, and that the frustrations are legitimate. How do we just fix this? Of course, they want their child to succeed. Of course, they want to be able to say that their child has done this, that, and the other and be proud and all of that. You know, that's any parent's dream. That's what the grandmother wants for him too, you know. And when she tells him how she feels and she starts crying, I was just like, well, don't nobody want Granny to cry, you know. That's really something you don't want to see. So, of course, little Jamie is hugging his grandmother, trying to console her. We just need Jamie to kind of open up a little bit more. So, Irena says she's also concerned about the text messages that he sent. You know, he sends her the long text messages, you know, saying how he might harm himself. And that worries her, you know, and she's also tired of the roller coaster ride between Big Jamie and Little Jamie. One day they good, the next week they not, they arguing, they back good, you know, it's back and forth, like it's too much. So Big Jamie was like, my suggestion is that we all go to a counselor so that we can just see like how exactly, because Big Jamie realizes that maybe he does communicate wrong. I mean, not maybe. He knows that he's not getting through to his son the way that he's been doing it. So, I think that it's great that Jamie is willing, because a lot of black men are not willing to go to the therapist, okay? Especially my generation, you know, a lot of us still is not really on that time. So he tells him that, you know, we need to go to counseling. And little Jamie was like, no, I don't really want to go, because little Jamie is feeling like we about to get to this counselor and then they're going to be sitting up here telling me how I'm doing this wrong. I'm doing that. It's me, it's me, it's me. I get enough of that from my parents. Like, I don't need to go to somebody else to hear them say that. And that's when they tell them, like, no, it's going to be for everybody, like all of us. You know, we as a family need to try to figure out a lot of things, maybe the way that we communicate with each other. I think little Jamie was upset with the ultimatum that Big Jamie gave him, which was, if, you know, you don't want to do this, then you're going to have to get out. Like, get out, meaning changing the address for your meal to go with your girlfriend, take all your clothes, take all your shit, like you, that kind of get out, not this back and forth, you mad at us, or you go over there for a couple of weeks, come back home, like, you know. So I think little Jamie was feeling upset about that until he realized that, no, it's not just for you, it's for everybody. Okay, we need to learn how to communicate better with each other. I do feel kind of sorry for little Jamie, but I also totally know where, you know, Irena and Jamie are coming from. But little Jamie was like, he just tired of feeling like I'm the problem, I'm the bad kid, I'm the disappointment, I'm the one that ain't never doing right, I don't never do right, you guys don't never tell me I do right, you know, and all that. So he's feeling overwhelmed about everything. He gets up and he goes downstairs and just kind of sits on the stairs like, I just need a little space. Like, y'all, everybody coming at me. I didn't even know that this was going to happen today, you know? So he goes down on the stairs, and then his sister comes, and Irena comes down, and, you know, they're emotional with him and just telling them, like, you know, it's not nobody trying to pick on you. It's not, you know, we just all need to, you know, we just all need to do better. And, you know, Big Jamie comes down there as well and tells them, you know, again, we're going to all go. It's going to be for everybody. I got a lot of shit going on in my head, too, that maybe I need to work out, you know, and maybe we need a third party that's not so, you know, so emotionally attached to everything that they can't see, you know, the forest for the trees. And so once they all explain to him exactly what we doing, why we doing this, who's going to benefit it, you know, everybody, then that's when little Jamie says, okay, you know, he's willing to go. And, you know, it was a breakthrough. Everybody is happy. You know, we hug it out. We shake hands, and, you know, Brittany did this, got everybody together. So on to counseling we go. So later on, we see Big Jamie and little Jamie. They go to Dr. Cunningham's office. Okay. Dr. Cunningham comes highly requested, highly suggested, highly referenced. If Dr. Cunningham can't do it, then nobody can. All right. And I know I wasn't the only one that was getting the TD Jakes vibe from him. Not his sound, just the way he looked. Anyway, Big Jamie is there first. Little Jamie gets there afterwards, and we sit down on the couch. Little Jamie is clearly nervous because he don't really know what to expect out of this. You know, but at least he's there. At least he's open. So we get started. You know, how have we found ourselves in this place? Big Jamie tells him, like, over the years, they bump heads. You know, as they've gotten older, they've bumped heads with each other, and it just seems to get worse and worse. No real way to kind of fix it. So they don't really know what to do. Okay, but let's take this ticket situation, for example. Little Jamie says Big Jamie knew that he could not pay the ticket. He didn't have the money, okay, and they was riding him about, oh, you got a ticket? Well, you need to pay it. Like, what you want us to do? And he was like, you know, I don't have a job. I don't have no income. But Big Jamie's whole thing is, you know, they'll say that they ain't got no money and they ain't got no income and all this, but he's still able to, you know, fully do his full lifestyle. Like, that's the part that I don't understand. It's what he wants to pay, not what he has to pay, okay? We done bought him this car, you know, and we've done so much for him, and for him to tell us that nobody holds him down, nobody has his back, that was sort of a slap in the face to me and his mama. So, yeah, when he tells us things like that, you know, we get to arguing back and forth, and then Jamie was like, you know, and I will admit I did have something to drink. Okay. Which I was clear from the episode I told you guys when he was at that table. It was clear he was drunk. He was yelling. He was belligerent almost, you know. So, you know, folks, when they be frustrated and upset and they get drunk, sometimes they just be running off at the mouth and saying shit that they, you know, should not be saying, or definitely not in the way that they saying it. So then that's when the counselor is like, okay, well, let's have a conversation about that. That is not an excuse. You know, just because you've been drinking, you shouldn't be able to just go off on people, say whatever the hell you want to say. And Big Jamie does realize that. You know, he was a detective. He comes from a certain, you know, he's coming from a certain environment, and then that's even compounds the problems because he's got a kid who's always in trouble with the law. I mean, you know, getting into stuff. Like, we give him everything. Like, so why are you even finding yourself in these situations? It's frustrating for Jamie. But he says that, you know, he was very strict with little Jamie. And maybe that's big. Now little Jamie is probably acting out. So the counselor's like, yeah, you need to work on your delivery. You need to work on your tone, because once you get from, you know, to 1,000, ain't no bringing it back down. Everybody get to saying shit and doing things that they don't really say and want to do. And then it just turns into a big old mess. So now little Jamie is feeling pretty open to this, because now he finally sees that somebody else is telling his father how he is, little Jamie hasn't been able to get big Jamie to understand that, apparently. So that opens him up more to Dr. Cunningham. So now Dr. Cunningham was like, okay, now little Jamie, let's talk about you. What is it that you feel like you need to do to make this thing a little bit better? And little Jamie was like, well, I know I need to get on my feet. I need to do things for myself, but it is going to take a little time, and he was just like, yeah, but what's holding you back? And little Jamie is kind of shaking his head like, I don't know. And he was like, it's you in your own way. You the reason why you are where you are. You're responsible for yourself. And he does agree that he is in his own way, but also he feels like he's been hearing like all of his life, you ain't doing right. You're not going to do right. I'm sure he's been called a lot of things when his parents are frustrated with him, and he's internalized that and kind of made it feel like, okay, you don't think I'm gonna do shit, then I'm not gonna do shit. Okay, like that, what is it, self-fulfilling prophecy or whatever. It's just sort of like, you think that already about me, so I'm just gonna act as you say. But the thing is, people don't realize is that don't hurt nobody more than it hurts you. You don't do nothing with your life, so who's over there suffering with no money, no gas, no job, no car? I mean, you can't go nowhere. So it's not really hurting anybody but yourself. Then Jamie brings up how Irena's worried about him, with this whole self-harm thing. He'll send a text message saying that he's not going to be here anymore. He don't want to be here anymore. And, that's an issue as well. So then Dr. Cunningham was like, okay, so when was the last time you felt like that? He's like, oh, it's been a while. Okay, how long is a while? Oh, just like a month or two ago. That ain't a while ago. That's still very recent. So Dr. Cunningham was like, well, tell me, like, why do you feel like that? And of course, it's because of all the things that he's just not been able to achieve. And then I guess he doesn't have an outlet. So Dr. Cunningham tells him, I'm going to give you my contact information. If you start feeling like that, really truly feeling like that, then you need to call me, and so he can kind of help him through however his emotions are going at that time, But I was listening to Big Jamie when he was in his confessional, and I was like, I know he is working so hard, you guys, trying to make sure. He was just like, to me, he really has a pretty good life. To him, it's totally different. But anyway, little Jamie is open to Dr. Cunningham. I think he loved the fact that the man said that he could call him anytime, kind of just feeling like somebody else is there for me. So I think that little Jamie is not necessarily going to act on that self-harm claim. So I forgot to tell you guys, he had told Big Jamie to get out when they started talking about that. So, once they finish that, they go back out, and tells them, little Jamie was like, you gonna make sure I get that number, and he was like, yeah, I'll make sure you get it. Okay, I don't have a card right now, but I'll make sure you get it. And the counseling session was a success. Now, this was the best part of the whole show. Doesn't feel like it's put on. Don't feel like nobody lying. Nobody feel like we doing too much. It don't look like it's for the cameras. It don't look created. It don't look like I'm trying to make myself or the other person look bad or good or anything. It just felt very authentic and genuine. So I appreciate you guys for this scene. The rest of the show. Now let's jump over to Winter. Winter's having this romancipation party, okay, because she's going to have all of the people over to this special venue. I think it's called Air One or something like that. And it's a celebration of divorce. I said she's going to ride this divorce thing into the ground. Like, girl, you divorced now. We don't care. Kevin ain't on the show no more. Like, what else is we doing with our lives, But she's having this romancipation party. Now, she's invited Sherelle to the venue because she's at the place checking it out to make sure that it's going to be a perfect space for her party. And, once Sherelle gets there, she's like, I didn't really tell Sherelle why I invited her. I was like, why did you invite her? Because we can't even imagine you and Sherelle being friends, but I mean, okay. So Sherelle comes in there. Hey, girl, I didn't tell you exactly why I wanted you to come. Okay, well, what do you need? Okay. And then the lady was like, oh, I'm going to go get us some champagne. And the other one's like, I'm going to help you. How many people it take to screw in a damn light bulb? Like, you need help getting this champagne? Child, they didn't know what to say. So, honey, they done walked off. Fine. So Winter tells Sherelle that she's having this party and she feels like, she's going to invite the football team. Okay, the football team that was at your event? Oh, you mean, they were the Gutter Barbies last season. They're the football team this season. Okay. And as soon as she said that, I was just like, Sherelle says she feels like if Ashley and Winter could just speak, that they might be able to get things handled. And it's just sort of like, first of all, why are you inviting them to a romancipation party and nobody is divorced? You're trying to invite Irena, Ashley, Joy, I'm assuming, and they are all either married or in a relationship. What are they getting from coming to this damn divorce party? That's the first problem, the stupid storyline creation here. That's why I keep on saying that this is not, Winter's character doesn't even fit in. Like, why are you there? You don't get along with anybody. I mean, I don't necessarily really dislike Winter like that. I mean, I don't really care about Winter one way or the other. But what I'm saying is, she doesn't naturally fit into you fighting with everybody. Sherelle is starting to look like she's going to be fighting with a lot of people as well. So it's just sort of like you two coming together it's just silly. Ashley doesn't want to talk to Winter because Ashley has been very, very clear on the fact that she doesn't have anything to say to her. So why is Sherelle even saying that she thinks that her and Winter need to talk again is beyond me. Winter keeps on saying that, both me and Ashley, we're both boss bitches, so if we can basically put the egos down, and maybe they can have a conversation, a real true one, they might be best friends. I was like, girl, I won't go that far. So maybe they can get out their own way and they'll have this conversation. Fine. Then Sherelle brings up what Irena said about her husband, Block Black, whatever his name is, and how she didn't like it. Apparently Joy must have called her husband shady, or at least Irena told Sherelle that that's what she said. And Sherelle, she don't play about her husband, y'all. How many times does she tell us that? She don't play about her husband. So, she is really pissed about that, and she need to talk to Irena about it because ain't nobody gonna be... Winter was just like, yeah, well, she's found out that Irena likes to play both sides. Irena just be trying to keep the stories going, y'all. But it don't come off like that. It does show like Irena is playing both sides. I will admit that. So Winter's whole advice towards her is just like, if you're going to be getting into bed with Irena, honey, you better be careful, because you don't never know which way that girl, what side she stands on. And we take Sherelle, and Sherelle has a meeting with Joy. Now, neither one of them, you can clearly tell, neither one of them want to really speak with each other. So this is already production has put these two together. We don't even really know why we meeting, but we meeting. Okay. So they sit down, and they both looking at each other, trying to figure out why we even here. Joy was like, this shit is awkward. Like, what am I supposed to be having a conversation with her for? I don't even have a problem with Sherelle. And Sherelle was just like, you know what, Joy, I didn't have a problem with you either until I had a conversation with Irena. And Irena said, you had called my husband shady. Joy was just like, well, wait a minute, basically I didn't say that. I was just like, okay, what did you say? Okay, because you saying you didn't say that as if you didn't say nothing about the man. Joy is telling her that she didn't say the word shady. And I was like, okay, so I guess we're about to start arguing semantics here. The things that you said were shady, even if that was not the word that you used. But oh no, honey. Oh, that Sherelle is upset because she used the word shady. Irena said you said shady. And you know what? I guess maybe I need to have a conversation with Irena, because Irena told me you said it was shady. No, I didn't say that he was shady. Okay. So then we finally, I guess, get down to the nitty gritty on what exactly is the problem here. And I still feel like they're leaving a lot of stuff out of this story. I feel like maybe they're trying to protect other people that's not on the show. Maybe they just is way more involved, that they ain't trying to tell names and all of this, because she was just like, we had an opportunity to go on this tour. The two members of the group dropped out at the last minute. We auditioned two other people. They came in. We killed the tour. They are the reasons why Mambo sauce is known all over the U.S. And, when we got back, then Block wanted to bring the old members back. And I guess that created a lot of confusion and a lot of problems and all of that. And he kept on threatening, like, if you guys don't basically do what the man say, then he gonna leave the group. Okay. And ultimately the group ended up breaking up because of all of this. But I guess he was holding that over their head. And of course, none of this has anything to do with Sherelle. I mean, if anything, her husband needed to have been there as well. But I think that they're not trying to get into no woman arguing with no man. And I'm sure that Joy's husband maybe don't even want to be involved in all of this stuff. So that's why we got Sherelle kind of as the mouthpiece for Block. But really, so now Joy is just like, okay, stop. Just tell me and tell me what you want. And then of course, Sherelle, don't tell me to stop. Okay, girl, you want to have this moment, obviously. What is it exactly that you want to happen? Well, Sherelle says that she can't be in a place with anybody if they're going to be talking bad about her husband. Okay. And I'm thinking to myself, when are you and Joy going to be around each other? I mean, I guess we're going to force it on the show, but it's just sort of like, girl, there's going to be people around that don't necessarily like your husband. As long as you don't say shit about him to me or anybody else, kill that noise. But otherwise, I don't know what else to tell you, because I'm still going to feel the way I feel about your shady ass husband. Okay. So I guess Sherelle, this conversation was what she needed, because she said she needed clarity. And Joy was just like, honey, her clarity is not my concern. Okay. Just make sure you keep my name out your mouth. And whatever's going on with you and your husband over there, I don't even care. Leave me alone and go talk to Elaine. Now, let's jump over to Quick and Ashley. I think it's very funny, I have to say, that last season, Ashley was complaining that Quick was like a horrible dad and never around. And she was a single mom, married and this, that, and the other. And this season, dad of the year. Dad of the year, you guys. I don't care who tell it. I mean, I'm not saying that Quick is this horrible father or anything, but it's just sort of like, y'all just... Anyway, so, Quick is very proud about the street renaming. And so is Ashley. Ashley tells him how proud of him she is. He's all stoic, just sort of like, thank you, baby. And then he was like, and I've been reading your book and this book is awesome. It's just like, well, mind blowing. I mean, Ernest Hemingway has nothing on this book. Yeah. And, he's like, and I just kind of feel like, I thought that you and I was closer. You used to tell me everything. And I just can tell you ain't telling me everything. Why haven't I told you? Okay. Well, one of their sons, got suspended. And she was just like, well, I didn't think it was that big of a deal. Okay. She didn't understand why the boy even got suspended, because somebody had took his jacket and he simply went and got his jacket back. And it's not like the son gets in trouble all the time. Here go Quick. But that's where it starts. That's where it starts. Okay. And look at little Jamie. Little Jamie probably was a good kid when he was younger, but then he turned into a bad kid I was just like, you gonna stop that comparison. You gonna stop doing that. Okay. I know if I was Jamie and Arena watching this show back and seeing how Quicksilver is the one that keeps on throwing that boy and throwing them under the bus about that, because that's a real issue over there. Like, that bothers me. That gets on my nerves. And to me, it shows your true character, because you keep on bringing this up when it has nothing to do with, ain't nobody mentioned Jamie. Nobody mentioned the Tyler family, and here you come with that. So, we see what you're doing. We see what you're doing. So anyway, we call the boy down, okay? And he sits down on the couch with them, and Quick want to know exactly what happened. So the boy was just like, well, so I was in school and somebody took my coat, and I went in there and I got my coat, and then I came back out and we started fighting. Okay, that's why you got suspended, not because you was somebody just took your jacket, because you fighting. And I'm sure that people that fight, schools usually have a no tolerance on fighting, and they suspend everybody that was fighting. So when I think the boy said something about taking the kid's backpack or something, Quick, well, see, what if you had his backpack and had a gun or drugs in there, and he said that you put them in there, and then, you're just one bad decision away from changing your life. And granted, everything that Quick is saying is true. We are only one decision away from making a bad decision and changing the course of our life. I mean, we all are capable of that. I'm not saying that he's giving the boy bad advice or anything. It's just that pedestal that Quick puts himself on every single time. It just drives me. It just burns my britches, you guys. So, anyway, once he gets the son to understand all this, they do their special handshake. Asking, how come we don't have a, I didn't even know I had an Ashley voice, but I see it coming out today. How come they don't have a special one? Oh, because you just mom and that's whatever, But hell, you could tell that these two just learned this damn special handshake because they tried to do it again and they messed it up. I was like, y'all are messy for leaving that in. Y'all just came up with that shit a couple of days ago, and now y'all want to act like y'all been doing all of this since for years and years. Boy, go somewhere. It's just hot in here. It was freezing cold yesterday. It's nice and warm. Well, it's not warm, but it's not cold today. I'm starting to sweat. So let me just open up, something around here. But anyway, the day is here. The big day is here. Quicksilver is getting his own street. It's gonna be called Quicksilver Way, but what was the name of the street before? Shady Side Road. I said, boy, there's a joke in there somewhere. I just ain't got time to. Anyways, everyone is coming to support. I mean, I'm sure his family and his friends, and of course, all the people from the cast are going to be there as well, minus Winter. It's a big deal, Quick says it's a big deal because he grew up on that street, and now they are changing the name of the street. So it's a big deal for everybody. The mayor is going to be there, and they're going to declare this day his day and all that. So big deal. When Joy and her man got there, she did mention the irony of the name of the street. I was just like, okay, so I'm not the only one that saw it. Anyway, they're all talking, and, Quick is telling them how, he grew up on this street, and this is a big deal. He was shot on this street. He was stabbed on. He always got to tell us when he was shot and he was stabbed. Nigga, did you do anything good on the street? Why do we always have to glorify? I mean, I understand that we showing that we came out the mud and everything. I mean, I know that's a big deal. People love to say it, I get it. But what I'm saying is every time you turn around, I did a lot of things on these streets. I was shot. Anyway, I feel like Quick does those things not to share that he actually has come, to a better place in his life, but almost to brag, and maybe he don't mean it that way, but that's the way that it comes off. Cause he was like, I made it. And good, you made it, but I just can't even explain to you guys how much he irks me. I don't want y'all to think that it's hater. It's not hater. It's just sort of and they say that he comes back to the neighborhood and everything. So, I mean, it just comes off that way, child. Anyway, the mayor's there. Like I said, they get up on the podium and he's talking. He's telling everybody how, Quick is a big success story for that neighborhood. And even with all the crime there, that he had made it out and all of that. But Quick still does come back for block parties and things. And me and my messy mind was just like, he probably just comes so everybody can adore him, but anyway, no more further ado. November 4th, 2022 is now Quicksilver Day. Name change, Shady Side Road to Quicksilver Way, and all of that. So then Quick get up there and bless his heart, child. I'm not gonna make fun, child. He's emotional and he's, happy that his family and friends are there. He just really wishes his parents were there. They're both deceased. Especially his dad, because his dad never really got to see him like fully being worldwide DJ Quicksilver. I was just like, worldwide, huh? Okay. So anyway, he hopes that he's an inspiration to all of Baltimore. If he can do it, then you can do it too there. So pull the sign down, the cover down. It says Quicksilver Way. Everybody's happy. Now, while all this is going on, Sherelle is there with her man, and she says that out of her peripheral, she sees Arena and her Bob over there, and she just got so heated that she couldn't help herself. Now, she does know that this is not the time nor the place, but we got these cameras rolling, y'all. So, and Sherelle is trying to make a name for herself. So let's go over here and let's do this. Now, I'm thinking to myself, like, girl, you so heated and mad and all that. And Black Block don't give a damn because he ain't said nothing to nobody. And if anything, if Joy and him were there, I would imagine that he would be the one to approach Joy had he known. But maybe he didn't know. Maybe Sherelle didn't tell him. So, yeah, that's not the right time, but Sherelle goes up to her. Girl, you know what? I just want to see if we can have a conversation. Here go Joy. I was just like, oh my God, here, anytime you see a Black woman, like, girl, can I just talk to you for a second? Like, anytime the hands get to going and rubbing together and all of this, it's about to be some sort of confrontation. And she was just like, no, girl, not today, not right now. Oh yes, right now. So, I had a conversation with Joy, and she told me that you called my man shady, and Irena was just like, I didn't call your man shady at all. That's what she said. Okay. No, she said she didn't use the word shady, and she was just like, listen, she didn't use the word. I didn't know I needed to list all the motherfucking things down that she said. He was unethical. He was untrustworthy. He caused all this confusion. Like, all of those words contribute to the word shady. It's just all encompassing. Sort of like when I say you a bitch, I don't need to sit down and list all of the ways that you a bitch. Usually people understand when I say you a bitch, then people just know that means you a bitch. Okay? That's the same way the shady works. But she the one that said the words. Okay, your husband is shady. Oh, what are you saying? Are you calling my husband shady? I was just like, now, I know selective hearing happens when we arguing and everything, but girl, are you really fixing to sit here and argue with this girl over shady? If anything, shady sounds a little bit better than for me to hear that he's unethical, untrustworthy, causing confusion, manipulating, all of this. Like, just take shady. That can mean a whole bunch of things, okay? But now you all mad about it because, I don't care about them other words. You need to use the words that she said, okay? Girl, I was just like, this is so stupid. Irena was like, have you ever heard of the word? Have you heard of shady? Okay, I'm going to give you the definition. She pulled out her phone. Joy like, Lord, she didn't got the phone. She got the definition of what shady is, untrustworthy, unethical, all of this. And, yeah, Sherelle don't care about that. You call my man shady and blah, blah, blah. You need to use the words that she said and stop coming up with your own stuff and blah. I don't play about him. That's my man. I was just like, oh my God. And all of this at the thing. Now, Ashley comes in the middle, and she trying to kind of break it up because Quick is just like, I'm going to go over there, okay, and let y'all women have this. All right. So then she comes in there and she's trying to be like, well, y'all need to kind of just calm down, telling them that they need to stop it. And, of course, they not stopping it because Irena was just like, what is wrong with you? Like, that's why I know nobody like you anyway. Oh, why she say that? Why she say that? Go, Sherelle. You think I care about if anybody like me? You think I give a fuck about anybody liking me, Irena? Girl, the mayor is here. We trying to, what is wrong with you? What is all this you doing? I just was like, niggas, you just can't take them no damn well with all this foolishness up there on that street. Okay? Ushering in Quicksilver Way with the full of fucking niggas. I'm just sitting there like, girl, you really trying to have this moment on this show. And of course, Joy is just like, oh my God, so embarrassing. And why is she doing all this in front of everybody out here? And I was just like, because Sherelle said, honey, she going to be on this show next season. Sherelle said, listen, if this show get canceled, it ain't gonna be because of her. She gonna bring whatever she need to bring in front of these cameras so that we can make sure that we get a season 3. Since Monique and Homeboy done jumped ship, now we got to make a new name for ourselves. And honey, Sherelle is determined to make it happen. The only thing is, it's falling flat to me. I'm gonna need real reasons to be fighting. I would have been better off if Joy and the husband had some sort of conversation. But Sherelle doing all of this and yelling at Irena. You and Irena are fighting over your husband and Joy's problems. Now, what kind of fucking sense that make? That's stupid, y'all. That's stupid. All right, you guys, that's it. I really hate that I'm not enjoying this show as much as I really wanted to. I can tell that they are trying. And certain parts of the show I enjoy, and other parts I clearly don't. You know, I would still really like to see the Tylers, and I'm still trying to get to know Joy and oh boy, I can't even think of his name. But the Winter, Sherelle, Ashley, Quick portion of the show, it just rubs me the wrong way. And we got to figure out, I know we on episode 5, you guys, so I can't even say it's the beginning of the show anymore. Now it's just sort of like, what are we gonna do for us to be able to like the rest of the cast? Because the Tylers is really just Irena and Jamie. It ain't really the whole family like that, And then, of course, it's Joy and her husband. But, yeah, I'm not going to say, I'm going to try not to complain about it no more. But it's just really a whole lot, you guys. Let me get on off of here. Okay, make sure that you thumbs up the video. Comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm itsrox. The channel is itsrox. Everything else will be in the bottom bar. All right. So, with that being said, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Till next time, rock stars. Bye.